bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with Lawin Media Network.
The following program is produced by Lawin Media Network. The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely those of the individuals appearing on the show and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Lawin Media Network, its affiliates, sponsors, or partners. The content provided in this program is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Lawin Media Network does not guarantee the accuracy, completeness, or timeliness of the information.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our very first episode of Pink Table Talk. I'm so excited to be able to start this show and have you guys join me today. My name is Dr. 𝙾𝙤𝙧𝙩, and I'll be your host for this show. I'm a doctorally prepared nurse, educator, mentor, advocate, and domestic violence survivor and mom. This show is going to be about women empowerment, health, relationships, love, beauty, and self-awareness. So I wanted to just tell you guys a little bit about what made me want to do this show. The idea for this show actually came to me last year when I was going through a journey of self-healing from trauma and relationships. And during this journey, I did a lot of reflection, prayer, therapy, and support groups. I also read a lot of self-help books, articles, journals, YouTube videos, you name it. I just wanted to learn, I wanted to grow, and I wanted to be healed from the past. And it was such an awakening experience for me. And one day I thought to myself, why not share what I've learned and the stories and people that I've met along the way with others? So I said, let's not let the journey end with me, but let's let this journey continue by encouraging and uplifting others. So here we have Pink Table Talk. And so we have a very exciting season for you guys planned. We're going to have 13 wonderful episodes featuring fantastic women speakers from all across the country. This season will be featuring topics such as women entrepreneurs, parenting, dating, health. And then we're going to even dive into deeper issues such as domestic violence, narcissistic abuse, which is one of those hot topics today. We're also going to talk about the legal system and family court and hear some stories from survivors during our Survivor series. So I'm very excited about this upcoming season, and I hope you all tune in each and every week live. We're going to be live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. CST and 8 p.m. for you guys on the East Coast. So I'm very happy that we're starting today this first episode, which is also on a holiday known as Juneteenth. So I'm very proud as an African-American woman to be starting this fantastic show on a holiday that is important to the Black community. It is a holiday that's also important here in the state of Texas, where we're at. This is a holiday that commemorates the ending of slavery in Galveston, Texas in 1865. So I'm very happy and I'm very proud to have this moment today to share with all you people. So let's get started tonight. We have a very special guest for you today. Joining us is our special guest, Yasmeen Duncan. She is a distinguished human resource executive leader who brings a global perspective honed in from Fortune 500 boardrooms for her chief people officer role with Magnolia Bakery. With a rich 19-year career within Fortune 500 global brands, Yasmeen's journey has been marked by a commitment to excellence and a profound impact on the world in human resources. Yasmeen's influence transcends the corporate realm. She also sits as founder and CEO of the Sisterhood Society for Women of Color. Yasmeen leverages her extensive HR experience to provide Black women the blueprint to take agency over their own careers. Her commitment to providing valuable resources and tools for Black women supports the organizational mission of meeting Black career women's tactical, psychological, and emotional needs. Yasmeen embodies leadership at the convergence of profound experience, visionary, and foresight to redefine the transformational, impactful leadership imbued with influence, purpose, and meaningful contribution. Her calling resonates in her mission to inspire and awaken Black women to confidently embrace their purpose. Indeed, the Sisterhood Society of Women of Color marks the inaugural step in her transformative vision. So I'm excited, guys, to welcome Yasmeen today. Thank you for coming on the show today, Yasmeen.
No, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for that introduction. I really appreciate it. I think this chat is long overdue.
Yes, I know we have been planning something a couple years ago. I think it was during COVID.
Yeah, in COVID.
Yes. So happy to be getting to do this. I think you're just such an inspiration to women, especially to women of color. So I'm so happy to have you here today on Juneteenth. So I'll have you start by telling us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. So as you said, I've been in human resources for 19 years. You know, I worked in a myriad of different industries, from nonprofit hospitality with hotels, startups, immersive experience companies, fashion, high-end fashion retail, beauty, you name it. And what was interesting on my journey, as I worked in various companies and industries, I was always the only Black person in the room most of the time. If I was not the only, I was one of two. I was also female, the only Black female, and I was the youngest. So on my journey, I've never saw a me navigating the challenges I faced, not only in being the only, but also experiencing microaggressions and racism at work. And I never knew how to advocate for myself to go up, but I had dreams of getting there. And so that led me to start the Sisterhood Society for Women of Color, because I wanted to provide women a blueprint of how to get from point A to point Z. We have a lot of women empowerment events and talks and conferences for encouragement and affirmation. And girl, I feel you. And sister, I had the same experience. But at some point, we got to level beyond just bearing the same burden. We need to take the next step in having an actual strategy for how to get to next. And so we want to be Sisterhood Society, which relaunched actually for Black History Month this year. We wanted to ensure that we were like, what is the mission now? We want to be a resource hub. So this could be a destination where Black women can come and get resources.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so amazing. And it's such needed in our community. And I can totally relate to those experiences. You know, as being the only woman of color at a workplace, I too have also experienced those same microaggressions. So it's interesting to hear your side and some of the things that you've been through. So tell us more. Tell us, how did you get started with the Sisterhood Society?
Absolutely. So I find the life is very interesting. You know, there's mountains and there's valleys. And although the mountaintop experiences are really great, the richest lessons are found in the valley. And so with that said, we all have like a valley season or period. Mine was 2018, honey. Yes, it was. Okay. Oh. And I think the year as a whole is just a very tough year. And I was actually coming out of a first major surgery for a fibroid, which is a whole nother conversation we probably could have on another day, because that is a struggle amongst Black women in the Black community. And so while being home healing, you know, on leave, that's when I was divinely inspired, as I like to tell people. And I always knew that I wanted to work with women. I'm a girl's girl. I didn't know when I was going to work with women or what that was going to look like, but I knew that time was going to come. And literally while I was home on leave, the name, the mission, the vision that we had then came to me. And I said, you know what? I don't know how this is really going to work. And I'm a Christian, you know, I love Jesus. And so I like to tell people, you know, God is real interesting because he's going to tell you that you're going to be like an Olympic track runner of the world when you just had a truck accident in your car and you lost both legs. That's when he gives you that word. So I'm sitting up there. At the time, I was emotionally, spiritually, physically like broken. And you want me to help women? What's happening? And so I took 2019 to, first of all, I did my paperwork immediately, you know, to get the ball rolling to establishing ourselves as being a nonprofit. I got my board in place. That was like immediate. But now, what am I telling women? What am I giving women? What's in it for them? What is my message? And I knew above anything, I wanted to be authentic. But I don't want to give the same, girl, you can do it. Hang on, we're in it together. What else? You know, like keep it real with me. And so that was all of 2019. Finding out my message while I'm also trying to heal on all the levels internally. Because the truth of the matter is you can't bring people where you are not. You can't bring people where you haven't been. You can't bring people into a work that you haven't started. So that was 2019. And then we officially launched January 2020. We had the first launch event up to be Saturday, March 16, 2020. You know, I got the date in my head. Because guess what? The city shut down on March 15th. And I said, that COVID. God, I'm telling you, God, you're doing it again. What we going to do now? And so I'm like, and at the time, my business coach, she said, well, girl, you got to pivot. And I'm like, pivot and do what? And she said, you have to pivot to be virtual. This is now a virtual movement. And so literally that next year and a half, it was literally virtual events every single week of every month for the year and a half. Conferences, IG Lives, all the things. And we ended up going on a hiatus, but we came back bigger, stronger than ever with a more defined strategy to provide Black women, as you said, that psychological, emotional, and mental support. It's a lot that we navigate. On top of doing a really good job, all the mental acrobatics at work, let alone everything happening outside. On top of if you are married and have a partner, if you have children, it's a lot. And so, you know, you bring your whole self with you wherever you go. You bring your whole self to work. You know, how do we human better? How do we human well? These are the tools that we want to provide. This is a community that we are working to create.
Yes, absolutely. So we have some comments here in the audience. So I just wanted to take note of that. We have MJ Conception. She says, hi, Dr. Carly D and Yasmeen. And she also says, wow, amazing story. It's when we're broken that we actually feel God's presence the most. And I have to agree with that. I do. I think that, like you said, God has this funny way of kind of talking to us in those deep valley moments when we feel lost and in despair. And he's like, well, I want you to go and host a talk show, or I want you to become, you know, the next VP of this business.
Yes.
And you're like, how? You're like, how, God? How can I do that?
Yeah,
but yeah, you're like, what? What are you talking about, God? But that's how he communicates with us, and that's how he shows his power and his grace through our human weaknesses. So I think that's just wonderful, and I'm so excited to be talking with you today, and I'm excited to hear more. But we're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back from the break in a few minutes. So stay tuned, everybody. everybody. Welcome back to Pink Table Talk. We're here tonight with our very special guest, Yasmeen Duncan. And so we're going to continue the conversation about the Sisterhood Society. So Yasmeen, what are some of the ways in which you guys do offer psychological support for members of this society?
Absolutely. So we have a huge subscriber list, and we want to make sure that outside of having an event, that there's ongoing services and resources. So every single month we have a different focus. Let me give you an example. So in January, February, our focus was salary negotiation. And we sent out and salary negotiation is huge. There's a lot of data points around not just Black women, but women of color being paid below the minimum. You know, Black women getting 65 cents of every dollar that a white man has. These are like core data points that you can do research on. So that's how we come up with the focuses. What topics or things impact Black women the most? Those are the things that we need to send resources on. So for February, our subscribers received all the things that you can negotiate for salary negotiation. They received an actual script. What is the thing that people are nervous about when it comes to salary negotiation? I don't know what to say I don't know what to say to my manager. I don't know how to ask this or pitch myself. I'm not quite sure how to go. All good, we got you covered. We had a script, and you could interject and change whatever to help you with your pitch for your request. And again, sending the list of all the things you can negotiate. When people go and ask for raises, the first and only thing most think about, because I'm also a coach, so I do coach clients to tell them this. Okay, let me just go and ask for compensation. Why would you do that? You know, people do that when they don't know. And that's why we want to educate. Ask for, okay, because listen, it could be no, right? Compensation. Then what? Nothing? That's why you ask for more. Compensation, PTO, 401k percentage, stock options, sick days. Wow. I mean, let's list it out. Perks. Yeah. You know, what can that be? Instead of coming in 3 days a week, we're a hybrid model, but a flexible kind of culture. Can I come in 2 days a week? That cuts down on my travel and what I have to pay in expenses. All those kinds of things can be negotiated. So that's some of the resources that we send out. And we also have an affirmation. So and so we live affirmations. We're all about affirmations. And so you have a resource, you have information every month, you have a resource, you have a tool, an actionable tool that you can use and implement for yourself. And then you have an affirmation to, again, affirm your well-being, affirm who you are, where you are, and how you are humaning. That's really important to us. So therefore, we're covering our pillars, which are sisterhood, career, and well-being.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful. I'm actually taking some notes here on that salary negotiation. I definitely can use that, tips on that. You know, as a doctorally prepared educator, you know, sometimes we don't like to ask for what is our worth. You know, for all those years of education, we expect to be offered the highest amount when we apply to jobs, but oftentimes we're not. And so for us to even want to ask for more for what we're worth, what's the market salary, you know, it can be nerve-wracking because we think, are we going to lose this potential employer by even speaking up and asking? But I think that's really important that you are teaching women to advocate for themselves, especially in this day and age. Expenses are going up. Everything is so pricey. You know, we have to have a salary that can provide a livable wage, basically. So that's wonderful.
Absolutely. Happy to do it.
Yes. And so how do your subscribers get these affirmations, get these resources? Do you host live sessions, or is it email? How do they get this information?
Great question. So anyone who wants this information, go to our website, which is sisterhoodsocietywoc.org, and you can subscribe. Literally, it's at the top first homepage. Once you subscribe, you're going to automatically get an affirmation. Literally, as soon as you subscribe, it's like a welcome affirmation. And then every time we send out resources every month, you will get those emails as well. We cover everything. Again, salary negotiation was just one of the topics I mentioned, but there's also well-being, how to take care of yourself, manage your time. We also had another month where we were talking about DEI and microaggressions. How do I address comments? You know, how do I navigate that at work without being aggressive, quote unquote?
Yes.
We give tools and tips, that you can action in real time. I'm pleased to say we've had a number of people apply these tips and have gotten raises outside of review time.
Brava.
Yes.
That's awesome. We have a comment from our audience. We have another comment from MJ. She said, this is great information. Yes, absolutely. Salary negotiation is such a huge topic. So I think that's wonderful that we are beginning to advocate for ourselves. Women, we're the most educated people in this country. We are going back to school for master's, doctorates, postdoctorate fellows. We are just achieving more and more. So we should be compensated for those achievements. So I think that's really wonderful that you guys are offering that to your subscribers. I also like the affirmations. I'm an affirmation person. Before we had all the apps now where you can get the daily affirmation, I used to write on little Post-it notes and post them on my mirror. Or you know, so that way I remind myself every day, yeah, you can do that. You are great, you know? So now I have a daily affirmation sent to my phone every day. And I'm like, okay, great. This is a great way to start my day. So I think I'm going to hit that subscribe button after today's show so I can get my affirmation from you.
Yes, please do.
Yes. Yes, so wonderful. So this is all really great information. So to join is to just simply visit your website and subscribe. Is that all?
Right. Visit our website and subscribe. Any events that we have coming up, any workshops next year, I can't announce just yet because it's not official, but we have a major partner that we are in process and talks with of having workshops at, and we're based in New York City. I mean, the long-term goal is that we're like multi-state and can have like a festival conference kind of thing. I'm so here for it.
Yes, sign me up.
I'm excited. And any events that we have, so the kind of events that we will have is like workshops, brunches, etc. That'll go out to our subscribers. It's like, hey, we have this going on. Let's come in community together. It's a really good energy, you know, because it could be weird. And I understand how it feels going into women empowerment events or meetups, networks, conferences. I've done it all, and I don't leave feeling empowered. I don't leave with like connections that last. And, you know, you have to really cultivate the relationships, but the people that you're reaching out to have to want to cultivate that with you. It's important for us that those who join the community really want to build with the people in our community. That's the goal. So once you join a subscriber list, you'll be in the know for all the things that we have going on.
Oh, that's so wonderful. That's wonderful. I love the idea of the events, especially the brunch. I don't know about you, but I love me some brunch. And down here in Texas, every Sunday is brunch here. So I'm all about that. And hopefully you can do some events down here someday in the future. We have a lot of Black female professionals down here, and I'm sure they would love to be a part of the Sisterhood Society.
Oh, so
I love this. Yeah, this is such a great idea and such great work that you're doing. So this is fantastic. So I had one question for you before we go on another break. What is one valuable piece of advice that you can give to women who may be struggling with those microaggressions or internal conflicts at work?
Not to hold it in. And I got to say that blanket statement and back up and give context and color.
Yes.
So the thing that Black women carry to work outside of what's going on in our personal life or what we're carrying is ideologies that we were told from childhood.
Mm.
Go to work, keep your head down.
Yes.
You know, you have things counted against you. You're Black, you're female, you know, you may be young or not. You're the only, you know, you're not here to make friends. Do the work, don't get into trouble, keep your head down, do what you got to do and go home.
Yes.
We carry these ideologies with us. What we don't question is, how does it show up in our behavior? How does it show up in our performance? How does it show up in the perceptions, the perception narratives that we are creating, right? We don't think about that. And so when it comes to microaggressions, why did I bring up toxic ideologies? Well, all the theme of these ideologies that Black women carry is for us to remain silent.
Ooh, wow.
To hold it in, to keep it, you know, keep things, just keep it light. Don't make trouble. Don't be aggressive.
Yes.
It encourages us into silence. But the thing about silence, you're holding the bag of all the things that make you heavy, right?
Yes.
You're holding burden that is so much more to carry on top of what you have going on. So how do you navigate and handle microaggressions? You need to speak up.
Wow.
You need to address it. And how do you address it? I like to challenge with questions. Because I will, I'm not going to, challenge with questions. People say, we're so nervous to like, I'm aggressive. First of all, and I know me, you can't tell me who I am. That's one.
There you go.
Can't tell me who I am. And I know it's all about approach and tone. I didn't yell out and scream, I didn't bark, but I asked you a question. Whether you could answer it or not, on you, but I'm going to ask the question. Because I think that sometimes people may not know what they're saying. They may think it's sounding a way, and it's not. And then the other side is people know exactly what they're saying. And if they think they can play with you, they're going to play, right? You can challenge back. You know, that's the third time. This is a really popular one that I promise. Every Black woman I've ever known or person of color in any cultural group has gotten this said to them. And I'm sure you have too, Carly. You know, wow. I got to say, you're so well spoken. You really articulate.
Yes.
Articulate.
If I had $1 for every time I've heard that, honey, yes.
Girl, you are so articulate. Like, you know, Yasmeen, you speak so clear.
Yes.
Do you see this look on my face?
Yes.
Yeah. You are articulate. You are. Yes. And I said, well, I'd hope so after 3 degrees and 2 masters. But thanks. And I move on in the conversation. I addressed it poignantly. Yes. I called it out with a smile or a smirk. We move on to it. I didn't stay silent and hold on to it and stew in, oh my gosh, this was said to me for the rest of the day and the evening. No, I addressed it to create a boundary, also to challenge back so they could think, did you hear what you said? Do you know how that sounds?
Woo.
So that's a way.
Wow. Oh, what this is all.
Yeah, you could say, what do you mean by that? Could you tell me more? Or sometimes you can play back. You know, you're so articulate too. You are so articulate. You speak so.
Ooh, girl, you're gonna get somebody in trouble.
And then it'll be the best. You know, you're so articulate. You went to Duke, right? You went to Yale. You are so articulate. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. This is all so good. This is also good. But we're going to go ahead and take another break for today, and then we're going to get right back onto this hot topic. So stay tuned, everybody.
In a world filled with fleeting moments, there's beauty waiting to be captured. My name is Christian, and I specialize in immortalizing your most precious memories, from elegant weddings to vibrant events and timeless portraits. I'm here to make every moment unforgettable. Let me tell your story through the lens. Contact me today and let's create magic together.
All right, everybody, welcome back. And this is our first episode of Pink Table Talk. Woo, it's getting hot in here, and this is hot down here in Texas. So we got our summer heat blazing, but we're also blazing tonight with Yasmeen Duncan. So we already started before our break talking about how to deal with microaggressions at work. And she mentioned to challenge the questions. And we have a comment here from our audience, from Eileen. She said, I like the idea of challenge with questions. So that is an awesome tip and a great takeaway for our audience today. So Yasmeen, continue on. How should we deal with these microaggressions in the workplace?
Ask with questions. You know, if you get to the point where you are uncomfortable, you can bring it up to the person, but I would always advise to have another party involved. Go to your HR. That's what they're there for. Yeah. And unfortunately, if HR is not, because I know people have concerns and issues with HR. Like, I can't trust my HR.
That's a whole nother episode.
Listen, have me back, child. We'll talk about that. Have me back. Then what do I do? What do I do? Still report it to HR, but you need to become your own HR. When these
yes, ooh, I like that.
Absolutely. We need to, you know, that's a whole nother, if I could leave, well, I'll get to that later because you may ask about it and I don't want to bring in that answer to that another question. But we need to protect ourselves. And there's a way to do it professionally. Now, it's not comfortable if you gotta, you know, I gotta write down the day, the time, document what happened, etc. But again, you need to, when you're talking about this narrative or instance, when you do bring it forward, should it get to that point, you are not escalating the concern from a place of emotion. You're escalating your concern from fact and figures of what's documented and what happened.
Wow.
That's a whole different thing. And if you really want to go there, write a note to yourself. Write it on like a loose leaf piece of paper. This is what's interesting. People don't notice either. Write what happened for the day, on whatever, what happened, date, time, all the logistics, witnesses, etc. Mail it to yourself.
Wow.
It's going to be time stamped, right? Wow. So it's not like, so it can't be said, oh, this is made up, they're trumping up this, that, or whatever it is. I didn't just create all this last night and now I'm going to bring it up. I've been documenting this over time and I have timestamps for these that I have timestamps of these instances. That's why I mailed it to myself. No, that's also a document that can stand in court should you need to go. Because you have to figure out, how do I protect myself if I don't feel like I have protection in the workplace for me?
Yes. Wow. What a valuable piece of information. I love that idea. I like that. You mail it to yourself. Wow. And that's awesome. That's really great. That's a wonderful piece of advice for our audience. Absolutely. Thank you. And then my other question for you is, for any women who may feel stuck, you know, maybe they feel stuck in their careers, stuck in their current job situation. They want to elevate. They want to take it to that next level. What is some pearls of wisdom that you can share with them today?
You need a strategy.
Ooh, yes. Okay. I like that.
Your strategy is everything. This is the core pillar, function, reason for Sisterhood Society. I have been, to be able to, it's very rare that you see people of color in the C-suite. It's even rarer to see a Black person in the C-suite. It's rarer than that to have a woman in the C-suite under 40.
Woo, yes.
And to be like close to the mid-30s at the time, when I first entered the C-suite, what? Unheard of.
Yes.
For a global company, you won't find it. And so how did you do that? I had a strategy. Every job, every place, everywhere. I started as a temp or admin and worked my way up every level. I didn't just carry my dreams with me. I had to carry a plan. I had to make sure the plan was executed. When I was frustrated, when I didn't like my boss, when I felt like my boss didn't like me, when I felt like I may have felt I was being attacked or plotted against, all the different things and nuances of emotion that people go through at work, but specifically Black people and women of color go through at work, I have experienced.
Mm-hmm.
I don't sit in that frustration. I don't stew in it. What I go back to is, what is the plan that I wrote down? You know, how long am I staying in this position? Is there growth for me here? What would be the next ladder?
Mm-hmm.
What do I need to get to that next place? Is this even a position? Is this even a place I want to grow? Can I actually learn anything from anyone in this company or my manager? And if I were to promote, they're still my manager. Is this really the place? Or do I need to pivot out? And if I need to pivot out, what is that role? What is that industry?
Yeah.
Who do I know? Because I'll tell you what, you will get further in nurtured relationships that you have than you will collecting degrees upon degrees. And I'm saying this having multiple, but I will tell you, I think it is very interesting. Black women, particularly when it comes to education, we far supersede. We lead in entrepreneurship.
Yes.
We lead in even degree completion, but I will tell you what, we spend more time and effort getting every degree and every certification possible, and then say, I still can't get this door open. At what point do you stop trying to open the door and make your own exit through the window? Because there's another for you.
Yes. Wow. Yes. Wow. This is so relatable. You know, for myself, I've achieved a doctorate degree. I have certifications. I'm now back in school, and everybody's like, "Why are you back in school?" Yeah. Everybody said you just got a doctorate. I said, "Well, it's still more mountains to climb out here." So I'm now back. I'm doing public health. You know, so it's like we're still climbing. It's still like another thing that after another. And then I'm even now thinking, okay, once this other degree is done, I got to get another certification, and I got to do some community involvement conference. I'm always thinking about what's the next thing, because for me personally, even though people can see me as having achieved so much, I still feel like I haven't achieved enough to even be on the same playing field as a lot of the other people in my sector, in my field. And there are people who have less experience than me, less education than me, less certifications, yet they have higher positions and more power than me in my field. So that speaks volumes, and it lets me know that the work hasn't been done yet. We haven't gotten there yet. So we have to continue every day.
Absolutely. And just to respond to that, because I want to be clear, I'm not saying don't pursue the degrees, because that's a way to gatekeep us. Oh, you don't have this, right? I knew that my goal was, I want to be a top 3 contender, if not top 2.
Yes.
You can't say, because I remember when I was getting my bachelor's degree and I was interviewing, oh, but you don't have your bachelor's. I'm like, do I really need my bachelor's to be an admin? You know what I mean? Do I really need it? I get that it's a qualification, but I think I can type, right?
Yeah.
I can answer phones. And so, you know, we get the degrees, but at some point in that ladder climb, realize when you can stop climbing now. And also, so there's that piece. If your plan or strategy based on where you want to go requires ABC, get it, because that's the plan, and you trying to execute it, right? But to stay on the ladder climb when, quite frankly, you can spend the time really leveraging and positioning. what you have achieved. Like I
Yes.
could go and get more, but to know that there are people further with less, that communicates to me there's a lot more I could be doing, leveraging what I actually have. And the last part is, do the people, and I had to evaluate this myself. On my ladder climb, even with everything that I said, I'm also back in school. So hold on, we're in the same place. And I'm getting my MBA.
Oh,
yeah. Thank you so much, sis. It was a thought to, dang, I want to get one more. It's just in us. You know, we can achieve all the things. So let me tell you something. A Black woman is a superwoman, okay? We are. But I think that also it ties back to toxic ideology too. And I had to assess that. The superwoman complex. I need to do all things. I need to be all things. What doesn't exist between those two sentences I just said is ease, is peace. Most of us grew up seeing Black women what? Working, being busy, handling everything. Quite frankly, sometimes even with a man in the home, they are still doing everything. So we grow up, and what do? We emulate what we saw, even though we didn't agree with it, we didn't understand it as children. But what we need to come out and realize is we don't have to emulate our life to what we saw and experienced. We have agency. This is another pillar, strategy and agency. We have agency to create the life that we want. And so you know what I desire? You know what my core pillar is for my life? Ease. What will create ease for me? Does this friendship create ease for me? Does this relationship create ease for me? Does having this job create ease for me? All these three functions I just gave, based on my long-term goal and what's next and what I need, do these, how I'm functioning in the world of my friendships, relationships, work, and the friendships I have, the job I have, the things the extracurricular that I'm participating in, is it helping me get closer to the plan I'm trying to execute?
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, when it comes to people, but back to the original point, when it comes to people who have less than us and are further, I could bet that they probably stopped functioning on I need to get, and just knew that they were. It was a mindset shift.
Wow.
And because they knew who they were and are, they stepped into it.
Wow.
I'm not going in to find a job. Why would I do that? I got a plan. 19 years of experience. I've worked at every single level. I've done this for companies, and done this for companies. Maybe I just become the job I want. Maybe I just make this a full-time lane. I mean, and you very well can with all your credentials and experience, but I think that's why there's been this mass exodus since COVID. And it's statistical data around it with Black women going into entrepreneurship, because we went to get all the things. Let's use it to create and cultivate the life that we want, that's impactful for us.
right, everybody. Dr. Carly is back on with talking today with Pink Table Talk. We have our guest, Yasmeen Duncan. So it is hot in here tonight. We're getting lots of great pearls of wisdom. We're getting lots of strategies, and we're talking about agency and owning our careers, all such wonderful things, and great women empowerment. I love this. This has been such a great conversation today. And so I just wanted to ask you, Yasmeen, what is one takeaway that you can give to our audience today?
Be brave.
Ooh, yes.
Be brave and do what you have thought to be impossible for yourself. Step into agency for your life. Turn down your plate to things that don't serve you. Walk away from connections, ties, friendships, and relationships that don't further you to your future self and to what you want your future and your present to look like. Have a strategy for your life. I will tell you, HR, do I have a job in HR? Yes. Do I have a career in HR? Yes. That's fruitful and beautiful and all the things. But beyond that, this is purposeful work. It's healing work. And I desire to challenge people higher. That is my calling. I'm an activator. I does this. And it's important for you to take courage for yourself today and do what you think is impossible, but it's not.
Oh, I love that. Wow. This has been such a wonderful conversation with you, Yasmeen. We have another comment from our audience, from MJ. She says, wow, powerful message. We are the agency. We can create the life we want. And that is so true. And I think so many of us, we get stuck thinking that someone else should be doing this for us. Somebody else should be giving this opportunities to us instead of feeling that ownership and taking those opportunities for us. And I love what you said about that ease, and I love that. And because I feel like, especially for myself, after being in my field now 15 years, I feel like I've worked hard enough. I feel like I've done enough. I feel like you said, I have enough certifications and degrees. I think now this is my time for that ease. And so I think I would like to look into that strategy you're talking about and developing that agency. So I really love those takeaways that you gave us today. We have a lot of viewers online tonight. So I just wanted to thank you all for tuning in to our very first episode of Pink Table Talk. And I wanted to just mention again that we're being produced by Lawin Media Network. The live shows, they're also recorded. So if you missed the live today, you can also check back later and watch the recording. You can also click onto YouTube channel, Facebook at Lawin Media Network every Wednesdays at 7 p.m. CST and 8 p.m. for my people on the East Coast. I got a lot of family and friends back in New York City on the East Coast. So I thank you all for tuning in with us. I thank you so much, Yasmeen, for coming on today. You shared so much valuable insight and wisdom with us. I definitely got to get you back. We have another conversation. And before you go, any upcoming projects and how can our audience get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So Sisterhood Society, although we launched January 2020, we never actually had our launch event because we turned virtual. So we are officially having our launch event. Yes, it is going to be so excited. Saturday, July 13th, Pace University is partnering with us. They have a program called Front Yard, who we are partnered with, and they are sponsoring our events by having it at their location. Since we have a partnership with Front Yard at Pace University, we have ongoing partnerships and programming. We're so excited. This is going to be in New York City. The event is called Black Girl Joy, Pack Light.
Wow.
We want women to put their bags down, pack light, have ease, lead with ease. And they are going to be blessed with having a panel conversation about self-care, wellness, and again, career. So I would love to see you all. To get in contact with me, info at Sisterhood Society, WOC.org, is the email address for our nonprofit. And then our website, so you can subscribe and stay tuned to all we have coming, is
Yes.
Society, WOC.org. And that is the website. So make sure to subscribe.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. You guys better click that button, get your daily affirmation. And for those of you that are in New York City, join that event on July 13th. How wonderful and awesome. Thank you so much again, Yasmeen, for joining us. We have 2 more comments from our audience. We have MJ. She said, yes, we should live our lives in our terms, not on anybody else's terms.
No, that's
And she
right.
said, great job, Dr. 𝙾🤤 D and Yasmeen.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
Yes.
tuning in.
Oh, I'm so glad we finally got to do this.
Me
But this
too.
won't be the last of it.
No, listen, you're
Yes.
stuck with me.
That's okay. I like that. That you're a person with purpose. So we're moving in the same direction. So I like that. So thank you so much again, Yasmeen. It was wonderful to have you. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed evening.
Thank you. You too.
So thank you guys for tuning in tonight for our very first episode of Pink Table Talk. We will be doing this every Wednesdays at 7 p.m. CST, 8 p.m. EST. We're produced by Lawin Media Network, so you can follow us on Lawin Media Network Facebook or YouTube Live. We're also on different platforms, Spotify, Apple, with the podcast. So if you don't catch the live recording, the live session, you guys can hear the recording later on. We learned a lot of valuable information today. And we also have some great episodes coming down the road for you guys for this season. So I hope you all can tune in every 7 o'clock on Wednesday. And remember, on Wednesdays, we talk pink and you can sit with us. So thank you all for joining us today. And I hope to see you all again next week. And we have one last comment here from Jewel. Jewel Bakani said, great informative episode. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed evening. And I will see you all next week. So remember, we talk pink on Wednesdays. Thank you, guys.